United States military faces many challenges. Abroad, China and Russia are increasing their military capabilities and taking assertive actions to exert global influence and challenge the existing international order. North Korea threatens our regional allies and potentially our homeland with the development of nuclear and ballistic missile capabilities. Iran is the world's largest state sponsor of terrorism, and they have taken advantage of instability to expand their malign influence and challenge the interests of the United States and our allies and partners in the Middle East. And violent extremism remains a generational, trans-regional struggle, requiring sustained political, fiscal, and military solutions.
China and Russia are getting closer than ever. Analysts say their military cooperation comes from a shared interest in boosting their own geopolitical standing and offsetting the dominance of the United States.
China is, by any measure, our strategic partner.
Our designation makes clear to the world that the Iranian regime not only supports terrorist groups, but engages in terrorism itself. This is the first time that the United States has designated a part of another government as an FTO. We're doing it because the Iranian regime's use of terrorism as a tool of statecraft makes it fundamentally different from any other government.
North Korea has just confirmed it test-fired a new type of submarine-launched ballistic missile.
There's absolutely no doubt that North Korea's work on both its nuclear and ballistic missile programs continue. The threat from North Korea today is absolutely great.
We want to win the next war, and we got to get ready for that. In order to do that, is Secretary McCarthy and I need to exercise transformational leadership, and we must encourage innovation across the force. So what we're doing in the Army right now is we're developing a new concept, multi-domain operations. And what that's going to do is going to be how we're going to fight where we're contested in every single domain. We're contested on the land, we're contested in the sea, we're contested in the air, we're contested in cyber, and we're contested in space. And we're going to modernize the Army with material. We have 6 modernization priorities with 31 signature systems. They go across from long-range precision fires to next-generation combat vehicle, to future vertical lift, to the network, to air and missile defense, and soldier lethality. We're going to stand up new organizations. We're standing up multi-domain task forces. We're going to finish our security force assistance brigades so we can advise and assist our partners and allies. We're recognizing the importance of information operations, so our cyber command is going to become an information warfare command. We're developing new training centers, because now it's about cyber, so we need cyber ranges that we're going to build. We're going to use virtual reality, augmented reality, so our soldiers can train on missions before they actually have to go. We're in a war for talent in the Army. We're in a war for talent. We're competing against industry, and we don't have the compensation capability that you all in industry have. But here's what we do have. We have the ability to offer these extraordinary young men and women an opportunity to be part of something bigger than themselves. We have the opportunity to offer them the ability to be on the most respected team in the country. We offer their parents an opportunity to see their sons and daughters have a pathway to success. And so we're going to manage and compete for these talents as we move into the future. And the last thing we're going to do is we're moving from an industrial age system to an information age army. It's not about fighting the last fight better, it's getting ready for the next fight.
Welcome back to day 2 of the Maneuver Conference here at Fort Benning. We're virtually connected from all over the world. And I know what you're thinking. After yesterday, how could it possibly get better? But today is going to be the capstone. This is going to be awesome today. So yesterday we had a great lineup. Started with the chief. He set the tone. General Garrett came in, and we talked reserve component. We talked about how we're increasing lethality. We had General LaCamera at the end of the day talk about how he's operationalizing competition in the Pacific region. And we talked about how we're increasing lethality down to the individual soldier level. We talked about organizational change. We've talked about doctrine updates that are coming. And it starts with this mindset where the chief talked about winning matters. And he said, hey, how does winning matter in your organization? And then General Garrett talked about winning at the point of contact. And so all of this discussion yesterday about lethality, the improvements we're making to weapon systems, the improvement we're doing with the network so that we can really truly operationalize Project Convergence, all of that is critical. But you know, if you think back to 1991 at the end of the Gulf War, you know, Stormin' Norman, General Schwarzkopf, his famous comment, we could have traded equipment with the Iraqi army and still beat them. It's not about the equipment. It never has been. It's about the individual soldier, and more importantly, it's about the individual leader. And so by design, we talked about lethality yesterday. We're talking about leader development today, because it is the leaders that we build in the Army today that will fight and win the next war. All right, so as General Rainey famously says, hey, we're going to drive change and develop leaders. And if we can do those two things, we'll provide the nation the winning force on the ground that it rightfully expects of us. So we're going to do some great stuff today. We're going to start with General Rainey. He's going to set the table for us. We'll close out the day with General Funk. We're going to have two incredible, powerful non-commissioned officers come and talk to us. We'll have the Sergeant Major of the Army, and we'll have the Command Sergeant Major Schmidt out of USASMA, and that'll be great. We're going to have a cameo appearance of Biggs from Fort Jackson. He's going to talk about how we develop leaders at the basic training complex that he runs at Jackson. But then we're going to get some international flavor as well. And so we're going to have two incredibly, really famous leader developers from around the world. So we'll have the commander of the Canadian Army, General Wayne Eyre, who's a phenomenal leader developer, leader and soldier and friend. And then we'll have Major General Mick Ryan from the Australian Defence College. Now, yeah, I've said it before, the Australians are doing some of the most clear-eyed thinking about the future of warfare in the world today. And so we'll be able to bring all of that today together. And again, we're going to have folks chiming in from around the world in this age of COVID. So there's some opportunity in doing that. You don't have to be sitting in the big blue room at Marshall Auditorium to really benefit and to participate in Man WarCon. Thanks for your attention today. It's going to be a phenomenal day. Thank you.